Hello everyone. I know it's been a while. It's our busy season, so been a lot of work. So anyway, I want to thank everybody that's subscribing. I've been asked a few times to give a little backstory, so here we go with a little Sale Oria backstory. I bought Oria on eBay October of 2016, and the plan was to go buy a trailer and go down and pick it up. Well, finding a trailer for a 30-foot sailboat isn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. So I found one. Things went by. I got an email from the marina. They're closing in less than a month. There's no way I can get the boat out of there. Nobody will take it out of the water this time of year. It was November. So I hadn't paid the full amount with the owner because the deal was when I pick up the boat, I pay the balance. So he said he was pretty sure they're going to keep everything to the springtime, which they wound up keeping. I met him on Tuesday morning. I'm not sure of the date, but it was the beginning of May. It was cold as hell instead of a nice warm May. Drove from Philadelphia down to DC. Buzzard Point Marina is where the boat was being stored, if anybody knows DC. And if you don't, Buzzard Point Marina is no longer there. They closed it down to build a new soccer stadium. So I get down there, I have all the arrangements made. I have the trailer I found from a pastor in Maryland. He had trailered his boat from Washington State across the country to Maryland. So I figured that's the trailer I'm getting, which is the one I have now. It's well over the size for the boat that's on it. It could hold a 35 or more on here easy. So I hired a hauler, BK Enterprises, Brandon Bagby. Excellent dude, very pleasurable to work with. He's out of Maryland, I believe, or Virginia. But anybody that wants, you can email me and I'll give you his information. So anyway, the deal was he was picking up the trailer in Maryland. It was about an hour away from DC. So he had all day to go do this. At 2 o'clock he had to be at Ravenworth Welding, another excellent company to deal with. And they're out of Alexandria, Virginia, Ravenworth Welding. He was going to be there by 2. Gave me 2 hours to have one of the supports was cracked, so I wanted to have that taken care of before I put the boat on it. And then the boat was being hauled out at 4. 12 o'clock I was being towed across the Potomac to Washington Sailing Marina to get it hauled out and put on the trailer. So I'm down there early. I go about my stuff, do my running around, and the tow place comes. $855 to tow my boat 2 miles. That's another story. So I'm getting towed across the Potomac. I get a call at 2 o'clock from Ravenworth. Trailer's not there. Okay. So I said I'll try to get a hold of my hauler. I call Brandon. I get no answer. No answer, no answer, no answer. So it's 2:30, 2:45. I still don't hear anything, and I get a call back from Ravenworth again, and they say they're sorry. They got to close up and go. They can't wait. So I'm ready to jump in the frickin' Potomac at this point. I get a call 15 minutes later, like 3:15. And it's Brandon. He just got there. He had a problem, blah, blah, blah. Got it taken care of. Ravenworth fit them in, welded it for him, very reasonably priced for me. I can't recommend them highly enough. I'll give you anybody that wants the information on them. Email me also, sailingoria gmail.com. So that was my adventure across the Potomac. I get over there, it gets hauled out, gets put on the trailer. We're driving up from Washington to Reading, Pennsylvania. It's dark by now, it's nighttime. It was probably 6 o'clock by now. So on the way up, I'm driving behind the trailer and the whole tail end of Oria shifts to the right. I mean, as you can see on anybody that noticed, the boat is a little off tilt. The front end isn't right in the V point, it's off to the side. And I'm absolutely flipping out. We stop, we go to Home Depot, buy more straps. I mean, it was strapped in and it was chained in with the supports underneath. Unfortunately, it was sitting on the bulb keel too much, and the whole thing swung. So we got that secured. I got it up here, and that's the story of getting Oria from Washington, D.C. to Reading, Pennsylvania, where it sits right now. Now the game plan is I was going to fair the hull this year. No big deal, I'll fair it in the springtime. That's on the agenda for then. But what I'm going to do this winter is all the inner liner of this sailboat needs to get cut away. And at the end of this video I'll show everybody what it means. But I wrote down a little overview of what I'm going to be doing coming up. Like I said, I'm going to strip the inner liner, and I started already. Very tedious. I'm using the oscillating tool, just cutting right along the hull line. You don't want to dig into the hull, obviously. So that's what I'll be doing. I mean, it's probably going to be 40 or 50 hours, doesn't matter. I haven't done this winter. Then I'm going to start to make templates out of cardboard so that I can cut new bulkheads. The new main bulkheads. I'm also going to start making templates once those are done. Templates for the different cabinetry in the galley, the cabinetry in the storage areas, in the main salon, in the navigation center. Then in the springtime, once it warms up, I can start doing tabbing in the main bulkheads. When I get the 4 main bulkheads tabbed in, at that point we're going to cut the top skin off of Oria up top here. All the foam core, waterlogged, sogged. We're going to take all that out. We're going to put new coring in. I think at this point I'm going to go with plywood. I've cut so much weight out of the inside that adding a little bit of weight in the plywood isn't going to matter. On top of that, I've decided to go with Dyneema rigging, all Dyneema rigging, and that's going to save me hundreds of pounds over standard stainless rigging. It's also going to be cheaper. We're going to reapply the top skin, tape the seams, sand everything down, prime all that. Just when I'm ready to prime, after the hull is faired, we're going to prime that also with the 545 primer all grip. Yeah, so that's pretty much what is on the agenda. I have all the fiberglass. I need to obviously buy the resin. I'll wait till the springtime to buy that. I'm going to buy the fairing material in the spring. So yeah, come once it gets warm, I'm going to be on the plus side of making progress. Right now I'm making progress, but it's deconstructing Oria. Come springtime, I'm going to start doing the constructing, the designing, the putting together to how I want her to live on. So I'm glad everybody listened. This is a little longer than my usual videos. I am working on getting a computer so that I can edit videos and show what's going on. But for now, like I said, here's the inside. And what I did yesterday for 3.5 hours was cut away all of this liner. It was all back here. You can see this was underneath a big square piece, but all this part here was touching, tabbed in, so I had to come along and cut all that. All this down here, I had to cut with the oscillating tool. I'm gonna have to come back in with the grinder, grind it all smooth. Obviously all this gel coat, paint, that has to come off. And once I have it all smooth to just the hull, I mean, I'm not gonna worry about little imperfections on the inside because it's all gonna be covered in inside cabinetry. It's all gonna have 3 or 4 or 5 coats of epoxy paint over it. So that's what we have on the agenda. Any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. Any suggestions, let me know. If anybody's done anything like this on a do-for, let me know. The one thing I find a little odd about do-fors is the bilge. Really is no bilge. I mean, this is it here, just down in where the hull attaches. I mean, there's no room, there's no area at all anywhere for a bilge. But anyway, everybody have a great week. See ya.